There was a man in 1519 who set sail on the final leg of a voyage that was to take him from the shores of Cuba to the Yucatan Peninsula. He had in his employ 500 soldiers, 100 sailors, 16 horses on 11 ships. And they were going to take the world's richest treasure that had been held by the same army for 600 years. He had to gather an army whose level of commitment was beyond that which ordinary people consider commitment. The day came that they were going to march in and take the treasure, and they gathered around. And as they gathered around, they grew quiet. What he said was 3 words that changed everything. Burn the boats.
Burn the boats!
So we'll start off with, why did you want to become a firefighter?
Day one, it was kind of a why not mentality. I have a relative that works for Cal Fire Department, and I've looked up to him for most of my childhood. The Monday following Hell Day weekend, my grandma, who is an 81-year-old dementia patient, has progressed into Alzheimer's disorder. She went unconscious. I just finished an EMT course and I did the best assessment that I could on her. I had this overwhelming sense of happiness whenever New Braunfels Fire Department showed up, and I just want to be able to provide that to someone else at a department in the future.
I've always had a passion of serving others, helping people. Over the years, I've tried different things that I felt like was my calling, something I would enjoy doing, but there was always something that was missing, something I just didn't feel fulfilled. I had a friend who is a lieutenant at the fire department who told me, hey, come shadow with us, see if you like it, and I can talk to you about it. And so I did, and I absolutely loved it. It was kind of like a love at first sight kind of thing. And after that, I quickly realized that this is actually what I'm meant to do. I can help people, and I can also build the discipline I need to take care of my well-being, which is something that was lacking at the time. And I just think being a firefighter was something that just hit all the check marks all at once.
Over the past about 3 years or so, I had the opportunity to be a part of a volunteer fire department. I kind of was able to fulfill that desire that I always had of being a firefighter. February 22nd of 2022, I was involved in one of the more critical incidents that my volunteer fire departments ever had. We were successful in rescuing the patient. After that incident, got this rekindling of the desire to be a full-time firefighter. It kind of reminded me of the qualities that I possess that I think are valuable in the fire service. So I decided to come here and pursue that so that I can really fulfill my dream of being a full-time firefighter, to be able to serve my community and just make the world a better place.
When I was 18, my dad committed suicide a couple weeks before I graduated high school, and then I went to college and I wanted to be a doctor. So I went and got my biochemistry degree, and towards the end of it, I realized that I wasn't quite ready to apply to medical school. You can just feel when you're ready for something that important or not, and I felt like I needed more experience in the world than just jumping straight into that. And so my advisor in college, he told me a good way to get experience would be to be an EMT. And so when I joined TFA and did the EMT class, they kind of inspired me to also do the fire academy. I thought it was a challenge for me and a way for me to get that experience that I wanted to be a better doctor one day. I also wanted to do this for my future family, to tell my kids one day that they can be anything that they want to be, whatever they put their mind to, and that kind of thing.
Best day of the academy was definitely rappelling day. I have a really bad fear of heights, so just having, whenever you look down at the ground and the only thing separating you from a 75-foot fall is 2 ropes, it got me over my fears, and it was a good adrenaline rush for me.
Best day of the academy? Definitely May 4th or May 3rd, because that's the day when we're all going to graduate. It's going to be nice to know that all the efforts we've done for the past 4 or 5 months had led to this moment. In terms of us graduating, I'll say it's the best day for me.
The best day of the academy, I would say, was probably hose advancements and ladders. The reason why I think that was the best day, it was one of the more physically demanding days that we've had, but I felt that because of that, I noticed a huge increase in the camaraderie that myself and my shift and just the cadet class as a whole, the camaraderie just exploded, and we all got a lot closer, and we all pushed ourselves to a limit that day because it was just all day of super physically demanding stuff, and it was hard, and we all left tired. But I felt like after that day, it was a good benchmark for everybody involved to really see what our potential was. And I felt like after that day, everybody kind of had a newfound respect for each other and each other's capabilities.
Worst day of the academy, I would have to say, is Hell Day.
It's known as Hell Day for a good reason, I'd say.
Hell Day.
We were being put through a lot of physical and mental work.
It was a huge reality check, and I don't think I've ever experienced pain, physical pain, as much as I did that first day.
It was 12 hours of just getting beat down, and we were warned that it was going to be hard. I don't think any of us expected it to be as hard as it was.
It was so hard. I was crying and dying, and all I wanted to do was stop, but I knew I had to keep going until they told me I was done. So that was definitely the worst day for me.
TFA, respond, report of a structure fire.